Parking garage attack, a warning for those who visit downtown after a woman was robbed, beaten, and raped. Did he lie? Jussie Smollett no longer considered the victim of a hate crime. How questions about this case will make it harder for others to come forward. Protecting mother and baby. Why now is the time to get a flu shot. At Forbidden Frontier, it's not a ride. What to expect from Cedar Point's brand new attraction.
You're watching Channel 3 News at 6 with Russ Mitchell and Sarah Shookman.
Even in the most familiar settings, people need to be on guard. This could happen anywhere. It's not just specific.
A woman raped and nearly kidnapped on Valentine's night in one of the busiest areas of Cleveland. Tonight, questions about why others downtown weren't warned about this sooner. I'm Sarah Shookman.
And I'm Russ Mitchell. Tonight, that suspect is still out there, as are questions over why it took so long, almost 4 full days, for Cleveland police to confirm this happened.
Chris Ty is live at the Arena Stadium parking facility with what we know tonight. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Russ. Hi, Sarah. A 51-year-old woman was leaving work Thursday night, Valentine's night, around 7:30. She entered this parking structure behind me, the one with about 6 stories right there. She met her attacker. He raped her. He robbed her. He kidnapped her. She got away, but tonight the hunt for him is still on.
As I run this through my mind, I can't fathom why this story would be withheld.
Almost 4 days before Cleveland police confirmed the incident inside the garage, Sunny Nixon shared the details of the attack on her Facebook page. Thousands learned of it from the unconfirmed post. Police didn't confirm it until today, which is what's needed for news outlets like Channel 3 to report it.
I know that this is a holiday weekend. I appreciate that. But the nature of an attack like this seems like something that people should be aware of.
To give you a better perspective, this is the garage, a multi-storied structure just north of the Q. The attacker entered Thursday, described as a black male between 20 and 25, brown hair and brown eyes, 5'5", between 180 and 200 pounds. He robbed her, police say, raped her, and tried to kidnap her before crashing her car, the one he was attempting to steal.
We need to remember that we need to be more mindful, especially during our daily routine. Stay off the cell phone, be direct in getting to your car, lock the doors, try to park in safe and well-lit areas or travel safe, well-lit streets.
Cleveland police have a camera on this structure, but it faces south towards the Q. What police didn't make public until this afternoon was confirmation of the crime that happened more than 72 hours earlier.
This seems like the type of thing where we'd want to have information out on the profile of the attacker, anything of that nature that could help bring this person in and be held accountable.
And of course, there are a number of reasons why police don't share what they have the minute they have it. But why, in this case, with an attacker on the loose, did they wait 4 days? Russ, we asked Cleveland police that same question a number of times today. So far, no answer. Back to you.
All right, Chris. Thank you.
Well, now to video just into the Channel 3 newsroom. 6 people were arrested after a brawl at Make Believe Family Fun Center in Parma. This all happened on Sunday night and was caught, as you see, on surveillance cameras. Police say the people involved were there for a child's birthday party. We're told someone not on the guest list showed up, and that's when the fighting started.
An autopsy is set for tomorrow after a 23-year-old woman was found dead in a Summit County motel room over the weekend. Police say 23-year-old Brittany Lynn's Watson's body was found in a cabin at the Office Motel on Maslin Road in Springfield Township. Investigators are calling her death suspicious because they say Watson appeared to be healthy and there were no obvious signs of drug abuse.
He claimed to be a victim of a Chicago hate crime, but now police are questioning whether actor Jussie Smollett is a victim at all. They've shifted their investigation into whether Smollett set the whole thing up. Brandon Simmons looks into how watching this story play out on a national stage could silence other crime victims. Brandon, good evening.
Hi, Sarah. The attack Smollett describes includes some very heinous details alleging racism, homophobia, and even political ties. And seeing this investigation play out in the media could affect whether or not future victims come forward. Over the weekend, we've learned that investigators in Chicago are looking into whether Empire actor Jussie Smollett paid 2 men to fake a January 29th attack against him. Smollett's attorneys responded saying nothing is further from the truth and anyone claiming otherwise is lying. But regardless of whether or not Smollett's story is true, seeing Smollett go from victim to potential suspect can make it harder for victims of future crimes to come forward, although it shouldn't.
I think that's something that victims have thought about for a long time and that this story won't help.
Aisha Bell Hardaway is an assistant professor of law at Case Western Reserve University. She says the investigation reveals the difficult process victims sometimes face.
It does shed a negative light, I would say, on victims generally, not just those in the LGBT community, but for victims who either as victims of date rape, of child molestation, who are hesitant to come forward anyway.
But Smollett has doubled down on his version of what happened.
I don't have any doubt in my mind that that's them.
Investigators say the two men questioned about the attack did buy the rope found around Smollett's neck, and one of them was his personal trainer. Those men are cooperating with police, who now want to interview Smollett a second time.
I would hate, though, for this story to not be true, to think that someone would manufacture something that doesn't need to be manufactured anyway, right? We know that people are being victimized across America all the time.
Now, regardless of what happens in this case, Bell Hardaway repeated that victims should not sit in silence, worried if someone will believe them. She says there are plenty of victims advocates out there to help them seek justice. Sarah?
Some really good points there. Thank you, Brandon.
Sure.
Drop-off and pickup procedures are back to normal at Hopkins. Last month, taxis, ride-sharing services, and limos were banned from leaving and picking up passengers outside the terminal. After many complaints about that long walk, the city reversed the changes. The taxi stand will return to the south end of the baggage claim area on Wednesday. A Facebook post about break time for a nursing mother, is getting a lot of attention and has led to questions about a mother's rights in the workplace.
Channel 3's Manny Abraham sorts it all out.
It was earlier this month when a customer stopped by this Mansfield Family Dollar store to find the doors locked, but it was not closing time. Instead, there was a handwritten note on the doors. So the customer snapped a picture of it, posted it online, and before you knew it, it went viral. Cody Berghard posted a picture of the note on Facebook. It read, "Sorry, had to pump for baby and no one else is here. Be back in 30. Thanks." Berghard supported the move, saying, quote, "Moms gotta do what they gotta do," and that, quote, "pumping at work is a right and employers can't take that away." There are laws in place to protect moms in the workplace. Under the Fair Labor Standards Act, employers are required to provide a, quote, "reasonable break time for an employee to express breast milk for her nursing child for 1 year after the child's birth." It's set up for a business or company that employs more than 50 employees. If it would cause hardship for employers with less than 50 employees, they would be exempt from it. All states, including Ohio, have laws that allow women to breastfeed in public, but Ohio is not among the more than 24 states that have passed specific laws that give break times for nursing moms. If you want to check out the laws in place that help protect nursing moms, you can visit our website at WKYC.com. In Mansfield, I'm Manny Abraham, Channel 3 News.
If you're pregnant, please get a flu shot. That's what doctors at Cleveland Clinic are saying after a new study suggests women who get sick with the flu may be at greater risk for delivering babies with complications. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says that includes babies who are preterm, low birth weight, and who scored lower on birth assessments. Doctors say there is no evidence that the flu vaccine causes any harm.
This just goes to show that not only is it can help prevent bad outcomes for the mom, but it also can prevent adverse outcomes for the baby, and it should, make pregnant women more comfortable with taking the vaccine.
During a pregnancy, a mom's immune system is suppressed, making it more likely for her to become very ill from something common like the flu.
There are multiple outbreaks of measles across the country, and misinformation about the vaccine may be partly to blame. The CDC says measles was eliminated in the U.S. 2 decades ago. We asked Channel 3's senior health correspondent Monica Robbins to verify if that's true.
Our main info source is from the CDC. It identified 5 measles outbreaks already this year, 3 in New York, 1 in Washington, and 1 in Texas. Last year, there were 349 cases of measles in the U.S. Yet, according to the CDC, measles has been eliminated in the U.S. for 19 years. How? An effective vaccine, a large number of people vaccinated, and a medical community ready to handle outbreaks. So why do we still have cases? Because measles hasn't been eradicated worldwide, meaning an outbreak is a plane ride away if someone infected lands in this country. Our worst outbreak in recent memory happened in 2014 with 667 cases. 383 of those cases were in Ohio Amish communities when unvaccinated missionaries brought the disease back to the U.S. And Ohio could be at risk for another outbreak because vaccine rates aren't going up. According to the CDC Immunization Survey, in 2010, nearly 94% of Ohio children up to 3 years had their MMR vaccine. In 2013, the number dropped to 86%, and in 2017, it's at 88%. Vaccine rates go up during outbreaks, and during 2014's outbreak, Ohio vaccine rates jumped to nearly 96%, but have since gone down. There are 4 things you need to know about measles. It can float in the air up to 2 hours after an infected person coughs or sneezes. People can be infectious before they have symptoms. In fact, it takes 7 to 14 days for symptoms to appear after exposure. It's highly contagious and easy to catch. 90% of those unvaccinated and exposed will get it. It is not a harmless childhood disease. It's still killing kids around the world. So let's run down the facts. Yes, there have been more than 100 measles cases this year. Despite that, measles is still considered eliminated in the U.S., but we still have cases because measles has not been eradicated worldwide. If you haven't been vaccinated, talk to your doctor or pediatrician and get your facts from a reputable source. And that's verified. Monica Robbins, Channel 3 News.
He is a familiar face here in Cleveland because of his baseball career with the Indians. We're talking about Kenny Lofton, and what many folks don't know about him is that he's also a movie producer.
How cool is that? He sat down with Jim Donovan here today at the Channel 3 studios to talk about his new film. It's called Chokehold. It's about a woman who's trying to avenge her father's death in the Russian underground fighting world. Lofton says it's a story that empowers women.
It's a very good movie for empowerment for women, you know, because back in a year ago or so, 2 years ago, Ronda Rousey and Holmes and Holly Holmes and Nunez, Cyborg, those fighters were very big, and at the time, me and my business partner felt like this is a great opportunity to put something together to show women's empowerment.
Lofton will promote the film at a screening and meet with fans at Tower City Cinemas tonight and again tomorrow night at 7:30. Coming up in sports, you'll hear what Kenny Lofton has to say about Cleveland fans.
And after a break, we have another coming attraction for you.
Well, we are learning about Cedar Point's Forbidden Frontier, set to open later this year. And we say hi to Betsy.
Hi there, guys. Well, guess what? We have wind from the north that's happening for tomorrow, but it's what's coming from the south that is definitely going to be getting your attention. That little bit of rain that's coming up into New Orleans right now, that's just the beginning of what is headed our way, and it could mean a mess on Wednesday. I have details straight ahead.
Channel 3 News at 6 is made possible by Calvetta Brothers Floor Show. It's time to fall in love again with your home.
It is not a new coaster. It's not even a new ride. So what is Forbidden Frontier, Cedar Point's new attraction for this year? It was announced late last summer as a replacement for Dinosaurs Alive, but not many other details were released. Well, tonight, we've learned it's a live action story. According to park spokesperson Tony Clark's post on Cedar Point's blog, he's also posted that it's been compared to an escape room and that it's free with admission and safe for all ages. Cedar Point's opening day, by the way, is May 11th. Well, it is the day we've all been waiting for. Our Wags to Warriors dog, Roxy, and her trainer, Kayla, will be here in the studio tomorrow for her big debut.
And we will also follow Roxy on her first visit to the vet tomorrow. So make sure you tune in to Channel 3 News today. She will be on at 6 a.m. and she will join us here tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. So you can meet our new star. Won't that be fun?
It'll be cool. Everywhere I go, people say, when are you getting that dog?
Yeah.
So the answer's tomorrow. There you go.
Well, don't adjust your TV tonight, though. You aren't seeing things. Maybe you noticed if you got up early this morning. Russ is pulling double duty today. You're a champ.
He is wacky, I tell you. I got the chance to anchor the Channel 3 News Today program with Holly and Maureen, and they really put me to work. And let's just say that Betsy, Holly, Michael, and Matt have nothing to worry about.
I think radar.
We'll go to the radar,
good,
of course.
Yeah.
Who knows? Everybody knows that. We go to.
Oh, see.
Right.
Very
funny. The abominable snowman and the miner from what is this? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You guys are slick. There's Rudolph right there.
There's a winter weather advisory, and I wanted to save you from that man.
Thank you very. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Ollie.
So here's the moment.
How sweet. How sweet. Thank you very much. Wow.
Yeah. This is the moment right here. I adore you.
You want me to? They're saying in my ear, you can leave now. That's what they're telling me.
No, you can stay.
They just told me, no problem. Thank you, Holly. Oh, they were screaming in my ear. You really can leave now.
Time to go.
It's time to go.
They didn't have like the hook to pull you up?
If they had a hook or a trap door, they would have used it. Trust me.
I was
excited.
Fun. I'm like, yes, I'm adding to my squad today.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking, kick up the heels.
You should get back in there.
Wow.
Toss the clicker down the way and like roll with it. I think that'd be good.
Yeah. Well, you already look great, Betsy, but next to me over there, forget about it. So that's why she wants me to do it.
I think you did a great job, actually. It's very disconcerting on that green screen over there. And if you don't know what it's like, actually, if you look in the bathroom mirror and you try and point at something on the wall behind you, that's exactly what it's like to work in that green screen.
See, I could have practiced if you had told me this before. I'd have been in the bathroom mirror.
I never thought about it like that, but you're right. And it's hard.
Wow. Plans for this weekend.
This is why I use general motions. I very rarely point to specific things. You'll see. Here's a look at the next few hours. Temperatures trending down, unfortunately. It's going to be a cold night. We're back into the mid-teens for the start of the day tomorrow. And I think the big picture here is one that continues to bring us some partly cloudy skies. Now, keep in mind, we have been seeing some sunshine, but we also have these little lazy snowflakes. And literally, as I walked over here, I just happened to get a glimpse of our sky cam out of the corner of our eye. And I don't know, Frank, if you could pull it up, but it is gorgeous with the sunset and just these random little flurries and snowflakes. There it is. How about that? There's our sunset. And every now and then you can see the snowflakes going by. So this is part and parcel with Northeast Ohio weather, isn't it? A little bit of sun, a little bit of snow, and the temperatures that are going down. Kudos to you, Frank. Thank you very much. Our beautiful CSU Skycam. We still have these flurries kind of passing through, not really adding up to much of anything. I noted earlier today on my Instagram account, it's more decorative than anything else. It's a lazy northwesterly flow that's coming across the lakes and producing those light snow showers. The temperatures are definitely chilly. We're down in the 20s, but because the winds are relatively light, we don't have a whole lot of wind chill effect happening. High pressure off to the north of us is producing those northerly breezes. That high pressure will be shifting because it's going to have a big squeeze going on from areas to the south. You can't help but see these clouds that are coming in off the Pacific, over Mexico, right through Texas. That's a sign of a lot of energy in the atmosphere, and that energy is going to help to push all of this moisture that's building across the deep south our way. So we have a lazy northerly wind, and it's very cold, and now you have energy and moisture coming northward. You see where I'm going with that. Things get complicated on Wednesday. So let's talk about tomorrow first. No big deal. We have a mix of clouds and sun that's expected. By late day, clouds will be on the increase. And meanwhile, to the south of us, this rain has been building northward. But it will run into that cold air as it continues its trek northbound. And by midnight, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and then early morning Wednesday, you can see the snow that begins to line up south of us. That snow moves overhead Wednesday morning. We could have a little bit of a sloppy commute Wednesday morning, especially south of Cleveland, but it's not done yet because that warm air continues to spread northward. So we'll have snow that changes to an icy mix midday before the rain begins to take over. The transition is not going to be equal for all, but it does look like it could be problematic. And then we'll continue to have rain throughout the afternoon into the evening before it finally moves out Wednesday night. And that's when temperatures are expected to be above freezing, so we won't have as much of an issue with that icy mix. Universal Windows Direct forecast 30 with increasing clouds tomorrow. Then we're going to pop it into the 40s Wednesday, but that's a late mid-40s. I think that icy mix could be problematic late morning into the early afternoon. And then Thursday, Friday, we back it off, kind of chill out a little bit before the 50s return as we head through the weekend. Rain chances returning too, and then we'll cool things off, clear things out on Monday.
Betsy Kling showing how it's done.
Giving us all our secrets.
That's right. Thank you. The first full workout in Goodyear for the Indians today. How long does Francisco Lindor plan on being in Cleveland?
We will hear from the All-Star shortstop up next with Jimmy.
The Sports Report is brought to you by the people pleasing people at Sarah Auto Park in Akron.
Hi, everybody. A lot of Indians talk. Spring training is all the way underway. Full squad workout today. Let's begin with Francisco Lindor and get an update on him. Super Dave Chudowski out there. He talked with him today. Lindor hurt right now, so he's not taking part in any baseball activities. He's just trying to get that calf muscle healthy. So he said it could be 7 weeks, it could be 9 weeks, but he wants to make sure once he's back, he's 100% healthy. But let's get to the big issue. The meat on the bone is he ready to sign a long-term contract with the Indians? And the answer is really no.
Of course, why not? I love the city. I love the people in Cleveland. I love everything about Cleveland, you know. If those are things that just they got to discuss with my agent, and not really going to talk about them, but it's just I love the city. I love everything about it. People have been treating me well since day one, so we'll see what happens.
There is no problem with your television set. He is wearing blue hair at this point. Now that could change. Jason Kipnis is the starting second baseman. There'll be no more of that center field. He's at second base, and I'm sure he's happy about that. 31 years old. He only hit .230 last year in 147 games, but he's the guy.
I think he's got something to prove. Even when you've been in the game 7 or 8 years, guys don't like not being as good as they can be. You know, they got a lot of pride. And I put him in that category.
Now, the expectations for the Indians. I mean, you know, there is Jose Ramirez, but there are a lot of new faces on the team. A lot of guys have come and gone. Carlos Santana is back. The expectations are this. Everyone expects that they are going to win the division. But can they get in there against the big boys? The Red Sox, Yankees, Astros, maybe the A's again. Can they compete against those teams?
I think the freshness, new faces, is actually bringing a whole new level of excitement because we know we have the pieces, so have the core of the team, and then we got guys coming in trying to prove themselves, make a name for themselves, and I think me and everybody in that clubhouse is excited to see what they can do.
So earlier in the show, you heard about Kenny Lofton as the movie producer for Chokehold over at Tower City. I had a chance to sit down with him also and talk about baseball and the magic that his Indians teammates, including himself, always have when they come back to Cleveland. They're always welcome here because they brought great baseball back to Cleveland.
I always tell people this is one of the best fans in any city because of the commitment that the fans put on the sports, and people don't really know that. And when you win, they're there. When you lose, they're still there. But when you really win, everybody comes out and try to be a part of it.
Now, a little Browns note for you. Baker Mayfield. We're on the watch of him, every move he makes. And so is TMZ. So they talked to him today as he came out of LAX airport, asked him if he's talked to the new running back Kareem Hunt yet. He said not yet. He said, yeah, he thinks that the Browns could make it to the playoffs. Quite possible that they could do that. So TMZ on the scene at LAX. That's why I go through Akron, Canton.
Yeah.
Just avoid it altogether.
Really, yeah.
Tired of the Paps.
Absolutely. No.
He's reached a whole new level. TMZ is scoping it out.
Yeah.
How about that? All right, thanks, Jimmy, and thank you for watching.
Look at that.
Wow, look at that. Jimmy and Betsy back tonight at 7 o'clock.
The NBC Nightly News is just minutes away.
Maybe.
Ominous, kind of.
Thank you for watching Channel 3 News at 6, the most watched 6 p.m. newscast in Northeast Ohio.